Hello class, this is Mr. Hart, and in this video I want to show you yet another tool that you can use for communication in the scientific community. Last time we looked at LaTeX editors. In this video I want to show you a system that's called Markdown. And the cool thing about Markdown is it's actually now built into one of the Google Drive files that you can make. So if you just open up your Google Drive and you click on New, you're probably familiar with Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Slides, but they've actually partnered with a new system so that you can make what's called a Google Collaboratory. Okay, and there's all different reasons you can use this, but as long as you connect the Google Collaboratory app, which you might have to do down here, then you can open up this and you can make a new Markdown file. Okay, it may introduce you in a tutorial or something. Just press OK and open up a new one. And it'll look like this. Now the cool thing about these notebook files is what they're called, or Markdown files, is that they actually can do Python code inside of them. Now we won't look at that too much in this video. We'll look at that a little bit in the next video. But what you want to do is just add what's called a text cell like this. You can delete this code cell if you want. And this text cell actually uses what's called Markdown. Now, just like LaTeX, it's this kind of code that you use to design specific styles and formattings. Now, Markdown's a little less formal. You probably won't use it for a paper or anything, but can be really good for making interactives and assignments and anything where you need to explain something with images and links and other things like that. So a lot of websites and, again, interactive tutorials will actually use Markdown. And it has these little indicators up here that you can use, which is nice of Google to provide. But I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way where you just do the code. Okay. So for example, the first thing you should know is that the hashtag symbol basically is how you make a title. So I can type hashtag and then my title, and this shows us what the output would look like. So if we click out of the text, or I should say press Shift Enter to execute it. This is what our text will look like when it's done. And so this is the code on the left. This is what it will look like after we've run this code. Okay. If you want to make a subheading, you just do 2 hashtags or 3 hashtags for a subheading, etc. I think you can even go down to 4 if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And again, if we run that, we just get smaller and smaller headings. Okay. And so we can make different titles and things like that. Another feature you can use in Markdown is obviously you can type some text. It can be whatever you want. Right. And again, they have bold and italics up here, but before, when they didn't have icons on this, or you're doing Markdown on another system, you can bold with 2 asterisks, make some bolded text, or you can just do 1 asterisk for italic. Okay, and just nothing for regular text. So again, this isn't something you would do in a paper per se, but this is something more for explanations and less formal tutorials. We can do horizontal lines by doing 3 underscores for separating sections. Okay. We can add a URL. So this is nice if we type a name for the link itself and then type the thing we want to link it to, then we can make a URL inside of our Markdown as well. And that will link to OHS Physics. Oh, except it thinks it's inside Google Drive. I should do www. Or actually, I think I just need HTTP. Like that. There we go. So make sure you include the HTTP. Okay. You can also add an image as well from the internet. So you can just look up physics rules like you often do find some cool physics picture. Okay, copy that link. And it actually uses a slightly different format. I forget what it is, so I'm going to cheat. Oh, that's right. It uses this colon. So this is the alternate text in case the image can't load. So we'll call it physics rules. And then we'll paste the link address into there. Press Shift Enter. So I realized my error. I need to click on copy image address, not link address. And copy that in there. Now when we run it, there we go. We got our image nice and big inside here. Okay. So we can add images, we can add links, we can all do all sorts of things. We can do bulleted lists by just doing hyphens. Okay, so there's our bulleted list down there. We can do numeric lists just by typing numbers. And then there we go. We got our items down there. So that's all really nice for organizing this information. But I want to show you the last thing of all. That's the best part of Markdown. It can use LaTeX. So it's the same as before. If we use 2 money signs and then type our LaTeX code and end with $2 signs, ta-da, we have LaTeX math inside of our Markdown as well. So we can do all sorts of math and explanations and links and images. It's a really great way to organize information for communicating with people. Okay? So what do you do once you've done this and you've made your Markdown page or whatever it may be? So there's a couple things you can do. First of all, I recommend making a title. Secondly, you can print this, which is what I did in my example. And it looks okay. It's not perfect, but it works. So you can just simply print it, save it as a PDF. Okay. Another thing you can do is you can actually go to a website such as Dillinger.io, and you can take your LaTeX, or sorry, your Markdown code, and you can copy it into this Markdown right here, and it will make this into an HTML page for you. So you can say export as HTML, and now you can actually open this up as a web page and save this as a web page that others can use. Okay. One problem with that is HTML doesn't support LaTeX equations, unfortunately, but everything else works if you want to do HTML. So there you go. You can save it as a PDF. You can save it as HTML. You can even just share this notebook just like you would any other Google Drive file, and then other people can reference it and learn from it and do whatever they want with the Markdown, or do a view only or edit or whatever you want to do. So there's tons of things you can do with this. Lots of systems use Markdown, and it's a great way to communicate information. So hopefully that was fun and interesting. Do the assignment, and thank you for watching.